Hey everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Welcome to Lift and Sketch with Christy and Rachel. Today we are scraplifting this fun layout by Lauren. She is on the, I just completely lost it. Kitaholic Kits. It's an Australian-based kit club, and I loved this layout so much. I got to pick the lift for this month, and so I figured this would be a good one to go ahead and work with. I am going to go ahead and work with some Halloween-themed product. I pulled this out from last Friday's Freeze Friday, if you have watched that. My goal was to use up that piece of circular vellum that you see there. I love it. It's so fun, but I was really afraid it was going to get destroyed in my collection because I kind of store my paper all together no matter what. And just because vellum is so flimsy, I was really worried that it might get destroyed. So I wanted to pull it out and get it used right away, so that didn't happen. And looking at this layout being circular as well and having to avoid doing mixed media this way, I felt like it worked really well. So I went ahead and I fussy cut out all the circles. I'm going to look at my photos here, try to figure out what I wanted to do. I had grabbed a tag originally. You'll see that there. I really wanted to get that tag used up on this layout because this is such a fun and playful. They're still so little. I felt like it would really work. But the tag isn't going to make it. It doesn't really fit in the end with it. But what it did help inspire me to do, which you will see in a minute, is that the idea of a tag worked into how I'm going to shape my photos. So I do have photos that are large enough to be made into tags, and you will see me do that in a minute. I'm also showing you that I had to kind of cut around and figure out where I was going to place them. Now, when I was originally creating this layout, I didn't actually look at the scrap lift. I had looked at it once and walked away and didn't look at it again. So I just made the diagonal with the circles without kind of having it flow off into that bottom left-hand side down there. I didn't end up doing that. And I don't even realize and it's not a mistake, but I didn't even realize what I had done until the very end. So when you see my finished layout, you'll see how I kind of fix that to kind of incorporate that bottom left-hand side there. And we will get to that. So first, you can see I went ahead, the tags I was using, they were too skinny, so they would have chopped part of the kids off, and I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to try to keep as much of them in focus as possible. So I just went into my stash and grabbed another tag that was a little bit wider and ended up making, basically it's a 3x4 tag. I really, really love that. It worked perfectly. I'm going to grab the backside of the Halloween tags. It has this really pretty orangey colored pattern to it. I really love that. So I'm going to use a little bit of it so that my photos are onto something. And that's going to kind of just be the basics of the layout. And then I do the rest of it with where I'm going to place things. I had a few sequins and all of that. However, I want to mention here, this background paper I'm using is from Fancy Pants. I believe it's Fancy Pants. It's called the Yellow Door. And this is the pattern paper that I originally had used. And this, you'll know this is back in my Freeze Friday as well. The other side of it, and it has this really fun pattern of I can't think of what you call it, those nuts, those fall nuts. Are they walnuts? Oh my goodness, acorns. They're not of acorns and leaves, and it's just such a fun and bright and different type of fall pattern paper on the back of it, and I really wanted to use it, and that's what I pulled it for. But as I was doing my Freeze Friday and talking about this vellum piece that I wanted, I had laid it down onto the back side of this because it was more neutral, and I actually really loved that. It's kind of got that Halloween vibe because it is that cream with the black stripes, and so I just kind of went with it. And I'm proud of myself for using it up. I'm a little sad I didn't get to use the other side of it, but that's okay. It's 5 years from now, even 5 months from now, I'm not even going to remember that I'm upset that I didn't use the other side. So I'm got that all done. You can see I'm looking through and trying to work with the florals. I wanted to add the florals because it's in the scrap lift. Lauren had done it. It's beautiful. I couldn't make them work. First of all, I have a hard time with florals when it comes to having Jackson in the layout. And I don't care about florals with boys. Like, that's not really a big deal. But florals does not fit Jackson's personality in any way, shape, or form. So it just, in my mind, doesn't work well. And so I end up taking those away and just use the leaves for them instead. And I feel like that works a lot better. And I'm happy with that. I still have a nice element there of some softness because Nora is in the photo too. But it's not quite that florally look to it. And this layout is about, if you can't tell, my two little ones. I last year started, I bought them some Halloween themed pajamas because they were just so cute and I wanted to get them dressed up and get in the spirit of Halloween. It was Nora's first sort of kind of understanding of it. And they loved these jammies. Like, they wore them forever until they got too big to wear them anymore. And Jackson still every once in a while requests if he could wear his eyeball pajamas. And so it was just so much fun and they loved it so much. I thought, well, I guess I'm going to start this as a tradition. And I end up I bought some for this year with Barrett included. And so it's just the new tradition that started within our family. And I really wanted to document the very first time that we did it so that as the years go by, I'll probably do a Project Life pocket page, or every once in a while, I'll do another layout to be included. And this is kind of what I do with this sort of themey stuff. That way, I give myself permission that if I just snap the photos to get them done, it's fine. I can put them in the Project Life pocket page and just put the year on it. And if it's more important and I like them, or they're better photos or whatnot, I can do a layout and slip it in there as well. But I always like to document the very first part of the tradition. So that is why I'm creating this layout. And I definitely did that little notch in my paper. I'm doing that a lot lately. I really love the effect it gives, a little pop of color coming out from the background paper. It's always what it needs. I did struggle trying to figure out what I wanted to use. I go back to that teal-y chevron type look. That color is kind of represented within the circles, so I went ahead and used that. And I'm just showing you how I do it there. I just line it up and then take my scissors and cut it. I try to keep them lined up on the same side, so I'm only using up a little bit of pattern paper instead of a whole bunch if I want to keep that particular pattern. And then I add a few little added embellishments kind of through that diagonal. Like I said, I added some sequins that are from the September release. I haven't actually received my October sequins yet. They are at my mom's, but I haven't seen her in a little while. It's been kind of crazy. So I'm still using up my September mixes, which is great because they're all so awesome. And I just pulled a few from the different ones there. I'm also going to go ahead and spell out my title. I was originally going to use these gold foam, but I do change my mind. I just wasn't feeling it. I wanted it to be a little bit more, again, they're little and cute and fun and playful. So I want to give off that kind of vibe. So I used that huge October sticker. You can see that there. That is from a thicker I've had for a couple years, and I'm slowly getting through that, thankfully. And then I used the word PJ in just this tile letter font, and then the word fun from that other thicker that you saw there. And now you're going to see that now I'm to the point where I'm like, I need to add a couple more circles. This is a little off. And then I go off camera, I wave to you, and you're going to see the finished layout. And what's cool about that is I realized that bottom left-hand corner, like I had talked about, what I end up doing is doing that fold over. So I folded the paper in half, backed it with a pattern paper of that chevron, and then left it and then had another piece of pattern paper to kind of match it up in that same really pretty red, orangey, teal that I used in the background of the photos. And that wraps up the photo. So, and the layout in total. Really love the way this turned out. It was a fun scrap lift to do. Please make sure you head on over and check out Rachel's take. Hers is fun. It's bright and colorful and completely a different feeling than mine. So make sure you check it out so you can get some ideas on how you can take a simple layout and an idea and create your own feeling to it and make it your own, because that's the whole point of scraplifting, is you take the idea and tweak it to make it work for you. I finish off as well. I forgot I did this. I did trace the vellum circles so that they stood out a little bit more. They were because they're vellum, they obviously fade a little bit into that background. So by tracing it, it did help kind of pop them up a little bit, and my photos could handle having that bit of tracing. There's a look at my finished layout. I'll see everybody soon with another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.